So, what's your latest project, Judy?
Well, it's a hollow shell, bisected, then reattached with hinges and a simple system of bolts. I call it a traveler's garment receptacle.
Wait a minute. That's a suitcase.
Aw, you spoiled the surprise.
You know of this thing?
I took one to the Future School Crossing Guard Club convention.
Well, when one has the ability to beam across outer space, one has no use for such primitive devices. Nice shade, though, Judy.
I had no idea these things already existed. I travel light.
Travel is such an outmoded form of travel. The process I've developed will make all form of locomotion obsolete.
How did you get here, anyway?
Zeke, in the brief time I've known you, I can safely say that you're lucky to have any kind of job at all.
I've always been lucky.
To answer your question, Mr. Pickett, what do you see when you look in the mirror?
Well, sometimes nothing. You know when you take a shower and it gets all foggy? But other times, I usually see myself. That's the kind of person I am.
What a fascinating person that is. How did I get here? A series of mirrors situated in outer space are attached to my laboratory in Fjorgiland. What you see here is a reflection. In reality, I am home.
Wait a minute, Aunt Fiona. Are you saying you're not really here at all? You're just a reflection?
You mean you did it with mirrors?
My aunt isn't a scientist at all. She's a magician.
The offer of marriage still stands.
All right, Fiona. The doctor's waiting.
These contests of will are so exhausting. Still, I suppose I must respond.
Dr. Science, she's coming. Are you ready?
I'm ready now, Rodney. I'm calm and I'm better.
Yes?
I remember the first law of new science.
Ah, yes, the first law. There's a thin line between ignorance and arrogance.
I have managed to erase that line. No matter what happens to me, Rodney, they can't take that away from me.
Clear the way. Get back. Make room. No autographs.
So, Fiona Borg.
So, Dr. Science.
So?
So?
Who will be the champion scientist of the world? Find out after these messages.
So?
Choose your weapon, Dr. Science. Pistols.
Too noisy.
Swords.
Too heavy.
Hand-to-hand combat.
Yes, the idea does appeal to me, but since I threw my back out last week, for my weapon I choose quadratic equation.
You don't fool around.
Yes, I choose the deadliest and sharpest weapon of them all, our minds. On guard!
What kind of fight is this? They're fighting on the mental plane. However, this invention, when activated, will allow us access to their psyches.
Huh?
It'll give us telepathic telepictures of this internal struggle. Huh? It'll give us a three-dimensional manifestation of matricular interference.
What?
Thought balloons.
Oh.
Aunt Fiona, are you all right?
Of course I'm all right. He tried to make me divide by 0, but I had him find the square root of pi.
Does that mean his number's up?
No, of course not.
Gotta run the run, champ. You gotta run the run. You gotta run the run, champ. You gotta run the run. You gotta run the run, champ. You gotta run the run.
Rodney!
You gotta...
Shut up. Well, Rodney, this is it. The final round. We either win, lose, or draw.
Wait a minute. Ding!
Enough of this dancing around. I propose we put an end to this once and for all.
A final toss of the dice?
I'm going to unleash the full force of my mirrors in outer space and send you hurling back in a vacuum to the surface of the moon.
You can try, Aunt Fiona. I am going to unleash the full power of my amplified speaking voice to shout you back to Fjorgiland. Rodney, count to 3.
I'm scared. I don't want to count to 3. I'll do it.
Who's throwing the voice for that dummy anyway?
One of life's little mysteries.
One,
On the count of 3, Fiona Borg, I'm sending you back to your lab.
2,
Dr. Science, I'm sending you to the moon.
You can try it.
3!
Well, I guess that's that. It was fun while it lasted. But I suppose I should get back to work.
She left without saying goodbye.
Where's Aunt Fiona?
Where's Dr. Science?
Somebody turn on the TV.
Dr. Science, you're a dummy.
That's a value judgment, Rodney.
Aunt Fiona, are you all right?
Of course I'm all right, Judy. I never left, remember? It's just that Dr. Science's voice was so powerful, it destroyed my mirrors, that's all. I'm back home in Fairyland.
Dr. Science, did you hear that? You won! I can't believe I'm congratulating a dummy.
I guess if I want to visit you, I'll really have to buy a plane ticket.
Make it real soon, Ms. Borg. This scientist salutes you across the ocean in the span of time.
Well, let me know when you're coming, Aunt Fiona, and I'll pick you up at the airport.
Thank you, Judy. And goodbye, Rodney.
What? Oh, goodbye.
What a woman. Say, where was Dr. Science throwing his voice from anyway?
Never mind. See you in the morning, Judy.
Bye, Dr. Science.
Goodbye.
What a job, saying goodbye to a dummy.
Where are you throwing your voice from?
Go look in the transponder, Rodney.
Dr. Science, you're on the moon.
That's right. Luckily, I can hold my breath for an extended period of time because it might take me a while to get back.
Wait a minute. If he's on the moon, that means he didn't win. It was a tie.
I heard that.
I'm sorry. I'm not. How'd you do that anyway?
Mail call.
I read them all. Why, thank you, Zeke.
I don't need these donuts, you know. I'm just eating them to help me forget.
Forget what?
The finest woman I ever met.
Why would you want to forget me?
Enough romance. Rodney, the question.
Right, Dr. Science.
Well, Dr. Science, this is from a critical viewer in Des Plaines, Illinois, who writes, Dear Dr. Science, in this week's program, you talk about stamp seeds that grow into envelopes. Are these real? Where can I buy some?
Of course they're real. In fact, we have them on the show here. A distant relative of the slug family, this creature secretes its own mucilage,
Or glue.
which freezes at room temperature. Hence the need to lick it with your warm tongue.
Incidentally, your tongue is also a slug.
Now, maybe licking a flat paper slug is your idea of a good time, but it certainly isn't mine. That's why I've given up letter writing altogether and rely exclusively on the telephone.
You don't have to lick a telephone.
But you can, if you want to.
Goodbye, everybody.